What if perfection was never the point? What if the chipped corner of a step, the warped grain of an old beam, wasn't a flaw, but a fingerprint of time? What if a home didn't shine under showroom lights, but glowed gently in the quiet of morning, where rust doesn't ruin, it reminds, where wood groans softly and the wind speaks through cracks left unsealed, on purpose? Don't forget to hit that subscribe button because it's a simple way to show your love for these incredible designs. What if the spaces we live in could teach us something deeper about letting go, about slowing down, about belonging? This isn't just a building. It's a story that chose not to be polished, a barndominium that breathes in Wabi Sabi, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. Come closer. Let me show you what beauty really means. It began with a barn, not a new one, not clean or straight or proud, but one with timber weathered by seasons, nail holes scattered like constellations, each one a marker of use, of memory. These beams were never meant to be perfect. They were meant to hold, to endure. We share new content regularly to help you create spaces you love, so don't forget to subscribe. And when they were brought here, into this space, they didn't shout, they whispered. Whispered stories of wind across fields, of summer storms, of quiet nights. Wabi Sabi lives in these moments, in the patient acceptance of what is. It's the soul of the old barn meeting the quiet grace of a Japanese tea house. A house that bows, not because it's broken, but because it chooses humility over show. Here, you won't find symmetry for the sake of symmetry. You'll find balance that's been earned. Through time, through texture, through stillness. Stay with me. There's a secret folded into these walls that most builders never see. And once you notice it, you'll start noticing everything differently. There's something strangely calming about a roofline that doesn't match itself. About walls that ripple just slightly, as if the wind left fingerprints in the plaster. This isn't the kind of architecture that demands attention. It doesn't rise to impress. It settles in to belong. If you found this video inspiring, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your support means to me, and it helps keep the design ideas coming your way. Every surface here was touched by human hands, not to make it flawless, but to let it breathe. The lime plaster isn't smooth. It moves like water held still in a bowl. Just for a moment. The seasons helped shape this house. Rain softened the wood. Sunlight bleached the steel. Frost split the stone ever so slightly, and none of it was repaired. Because here, repair isn't always the answer. Sometimes the crack is the character. Sometimes the crooked edge is what keeps your eyes from rushing past. Why do we feel calmer when the lines refuse to be straight? Maybe because our lives aren't straight either. And in a world of sharp corners and constant noise, this house dares to curve, to settle, to wait. It doesn't ask to be admired, it asks to be felt. Step inside, and the house exhales. If you love this type of look, hit that subscribe button to help us create more videos. And let us know in the comments what you'd love to see in future videos. The air is slow here. Sunlight doesn't just light the room, it rests in it. It spills across matte clay floors, gathering in corners like it has nowhere else to be. Even the dust motes dance gently, not as a sign of neglect, but as confetti from quiet celebrations, the kind that don't need guests or occasion. You won't find glossy cabinets or perfect edges here. Instead, open shelves cradle pottery shaped by hand, not by factory. Pieces that carry the memory of hot tea and soft silence, their edges chipped not by accident, but by time. The walls don't match, the furniture leans just slightly, but the linen cushions draped in the hush of beige and stone invite you to touch, to sit, to stay. Weathered timber frames every breath of the room, its grain like veins of something alive. This isn't design, it's presence, a space that makes no demands, yet gives you everything you didn't know you needed, room to feel, room to just be. Every corner of this home was made to be used, but nothing was rushed. The kitchen island, for instance, was carved from a fallen oak, not bought, not built to spec, but found and given a second life. Its surface isn't level in the way machines demand, but run your hand across it, and you'll feel where the tree once stood tall, where its rings still hold the rhythm of decades. The hardware doesn't match. Each drawer clicks with a sound that's slightly off, but deeply right, reclaimed, reused, not because it was trendy, but because it was enough. And then the doors, sliding panels once used in horse stalls, still bearing the dents and scrapes of their past. They glide along forged iron tracks with a quiet scrape, like a sigh from another time. Here, motion carries memory. Nothing is hidden, nothing pretends, because efficiency can still feel human. It can be soft around the edges, worn in the places our hands return to most. When we let objects keep their stories, they carry ours too, and suddenly use becomes grace. This house doesn't just sit in nature, it lives with it. The garden beds aren't boxed in, they spill, they wander. Wild herbs lean into gravel paths, and moss gathers in corners where no one tells it to leave. Rain doesn't race down plastic spouts. It falls through silver chains, each drop singing as it descends, a lullaby written in metal and sky. The windows aren't decorations, they're invitations. Tall pivot panes swing open wide, framing sunsets that stain the walls in amber and rose. There's no barrier between inside and out, just a pause, like the breath before birdsong. You feel it, the way the wind slips through quiet seams, the way silence doesn't feel empty here. It feels shared. This isn't a sealed box, it's a porous companion. It doesn't guard itself from nature, it lets the seasons in, lets the house shift, settle, respond. Because in a world that often hides from rain, this place listens to it, and in doing so it teaches us to listen too. It's easy to talk about walls and wood, but what brings breath to a home is the life that moves within it. Here, it's the smell of something baking, flour on fingertips, warmth from the oven bleeding into the bones of the house. You hear it in the laughter, not loud or staged, but effortless, echoing off tin walls like a familiar song. They didn't build this place to impress. They built it to slow down, to wake without alarms, to eat meals without rush, to feel grounded, even on the hardest days. They let go of straight lines. They embraced the scratch in the floor, the wobble in the chair, the mess that comes with real living. And when asked why they chose this path, this home, this way of being, they just smiled and said, "We stopped chasing perfect, and life finally caught up." That's the heartbeat of this place. Not its design, not its beauty, but the honesty it invites, the permission it gives to simply live. Remember the secret I promised? The one folded into these walls, hidden in plain sight? Here it is. Many of the flaws you've seen weren't flaws at all. The uneven plaster, sanded just enough to catch the light but left raw to breathe. The reclaimed wood, chosen because it was cracked, because those marks carried memory and didn't need covering up. These details, they weren't compromises, they were choices, intentional. And the truth, they cost less. They used what already existed. They created less waste, less pressure, less noise. The twist in this story is that imperfection isn't just beautiful. It's wise. It's kind to your budget, and even kinder to the earth. In chasing the untouched, we often lose what's real. But when we build with what's already been marked by life, we build something that lasts longer, because it starts honest. That's the secret, not hidden in blueprints, but in the courage to choose enough over more. Now you've seen it. A home that doesn't try to impress, but somehow moves you all the same. It glows beneath the violet dusk, not from paint or polish, but from presence, from peace. Because in a world obsessed with updates and upgrades, this barndominium reminds us that beauty isn't something we finish. It's something we feel. Every knot, every creak, every uneven edge holds a little truth. And maybe, just maybe, your next home doesn't need to be perfect. Just honest. Just enough. So if your heart beats a little slower in this place, if something in you softened, stay with us. Subscribe. We're just getting started. Drop a comment below. What mark would you leave untouched? What imperfection would you choose to keep? And if this spoke to you, we've left something special in the description. A free Wabi Sabi blueprint to guide your own imperfect sanctuary. Let's build differently. Let's build homes that breathe with us, one glorious flaw at a time.